look so disheveled? What's happening? Oh, hello, sweet baby angel. It's me, leader of the cult, and we're about to get into the next episode of MAFS Rehashed. Let's do it.
You want the trash? I got it all for you. Let's rehash the MAFS together. A sassy hole that only speaks the truth. Nobody gaslights you better.
Hello, I'm Wilko, the guy who rehashes reality, and welcome to Wilko Rehashed. Thank you so much for joining me for the last episode of the week of Married at First Sight Australia. Oh, I can smell that finish line. Last episode was a bit of a drag, and I'm hoping this one picks up the drama a little bit. And when I say drama, I don't mean Harrison or Bronte. I really wanted to stop. Oh, so much. Hey, Endemals, Mac, Bronte, and Harrison, stop. Yes, I know it's too late because it was recorded so long ago, but I feel like we could just go in there with a, little snippy snip and just cut all their bits out. I don't care if it doesn't make sense because you know what? The show doesn't make sense as is this year. Oh yeah, sure, I'll do the things. Hey, give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel. And if you want premium ad-free content before anyone else, you can get it at rehashed.com.au. There is even a free plan. Rehashed.com.au. Go and sign up now. All right, let's get into the dinner party. I guess before we do that, we do a bit of a whip around. So let's have a look.
Who am I?
What?
Steve Jobs. A little bit, eh?
You look like The Rock Johnson, that's what. Wait, can I please give you the chain necklace to wear? Please.
Yeah.
And then I have a bum bag as well.
You also have a bum bag?
Two.
Oh,
Wait,
nice.
do more of a sexy face.
How does a turtleneck make me feel? Bold.
I've got a friend, Hayley, and you'll see her on this channel more, and especially at rehashed.com.au as well. She loves a turtleneck. She could never wear it here in the studio because it's way too hot, as you can tell all the time. Even then, I still think she would. Maybe she is the love child of her mum, Narelle, and Steve Jobs. It's funny because her dad, my friend Hayley, her dad's name's Duncan. So maybe it's not Duncan's secret. Maybe it's Narelle's. And Narelle's secret is that Hayley is the love child of Steve Jobs. It would make sense just because of all the turtlenecks.
I saw a bit of value to this couple swap challenge that everyone had to do. People were understanding a little bit of these relationships more. And then they've actually seen their own relationship in a different light.
Okay, all right. We're just going to keep talking about it. Leighton's over it, Mel. Stop. You're beating this horse so much. I don't understand. I don't understand why you didn't really listen to him in the first place. I really don't understand why he blew up so much, but maybe it's because you weren't listening. The argument is so, we're done. He didn't want to do it because it was against his principles, not necessarily because there was no return on investment. And you're happy to do it because you YOLO life, apparently. I get it. You do only live once, but in that life, I don't want to live with Harrison, so YOLO doesn't fit into this scenario. Anyway, we're over it. Why am I talking about it?
How was girls' night?
Girls' night was sick. It was
Look at the
so
chemistry
good.
between these
Everyone
two.
got something really good out of it, but I also feel like everybody's in a really weird spot from it. I think it really shook a few people.
Everyone
Look,
or
my
you?
relationship's pretty weird right now. I need
Yeah.
a partner that I can communicate freely with when it's easy and when it's hard, when it's personal and when it's not. Something that I learned from getting a second chance at life is that I don't want to waste time.
Well, I get it. You don't want to waste time, but then you came on MAFS, and if we just go by the statistics, it is a huge waste of time. Although, could get that blue tick and a few more followers. So maybe not the biggest waste, depending on how you come out of this. And even though people have said you're a huge bully, Lyndall, you're really coming out of it looking pretty golden. I'm confused with the you and Cam thing. We've seen little blow-ups and then they get buried for many episodes and then another little blow-up and then it's buried and apparently it's all happy families. Like the rest of this series, it don't make sense.
I wanted to tell her the truth, but I didn't really know how to say it because I'm scared of how Lyndall's going to react when I do tell her. And she doesn't know how much remote work I actually do and how long I'm away from home.
Well, we knew it was already official that you two don't do anything in that apartment. You don't talk about the future and you certainly don't cook. And actually, I had a sweet baby angel message me to point out not to forget that Cam said that he loves cooking Thai food. And yet in that apartment, you have not cooked once. So Cam's big dirty secret is not that he is in an affair with Taylor, although, if Taylor had her way, and you know the name of the podcast, Taylor's Way. It's that he is going to work remotely for months at a time. So they won't see each other for months. Imagine not seeing your partner for half a year and you're just trying to start dating at this point. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
How was girls' night?
Girls' night was exhausting. I feel like I'm having to constantly defend myself, defend you. No matter what I say, they don't want to hear it.
What did you say?
I said we're in a more positive place and how we did a 180 because we both worked really hard at this relationship.
So the music's telling us that something's coming from Harrison's mouth. There was no other way for me to put that. I don't know. Anything coming from Harrison is a problem for me. So Bronte had a really tough time because nobody buys their relationship. And it feels like maybe Dirty Harry also doesn't buy their relationship. Bronte, you should probably check in with your TV husband before you continue with this whole charade.
So you felt like they were attacking you?
100%. I wouldn't have left.
But what were they attacking you over? I get two different stories. I get your story and then I get their story, and they don't align. It sounds like the girls just wanted to answer for what she's been saying. Pretty simple stuff. The flippant, changing of her mind all the time. From being manipulated to not being manipulated, to gaslit to not gaslit, narcissist, not a narcissist.
What is happening? I can't do this anymore. Like Alyssa, maybe I'm gonna need a week. Maybe we end the video here and then I'll come back in a week and I'll have my thoughts in order in regards to this situation. Harrison, you and Bronte have been fighting to the death that this relationship is real, even though the turnaround was miraculous. And after the last dinner party, just the last dinner party, you broke up via text and now you're all good again. And now we've come to another dinner party and you're trying to call out Bronte's bad behavior and you're agreeing with all the other girls about them wanting answers, but really you need to give the same answers. I know I barely finished year 10, but I don't consider myself the dumbest person. Like, I'm not smart by any stretch, but I'm not like the dumbest person. And I don't understand what's happening. Are you just now going against the agreement that you and Bronte had once again?
You can't badmouth your partner for weeks on end, call them every name under the sun, but stay in the relationship and expect that not to bite you in the ass.
You
I
did
feel
the
like
same
you're turning
thing.
this around onto me now.
He's gaslighting me again. Come on, don't do this to me.
The accusations got thrown at Melinda about our relationship being fake. And then on the back of that, I've stood by you and I've said our relationship is not fake. I've stood by you and you're throwing our relationship away.
Don't try and make out like this is just about me. Don't do it.
So we know that Bronte's in on it. We've known that for a while. She does seem blindsided that their personal narrative has changed. Unless they planned this. Nah, it doesn't look like they planned it. She looks a little bit shocked by his attitude all of a sudden. So Dirty Harry, you spent 5 minutes with Mel and now you agree with Mel and the rest of the Love Lab rats in regards to your relationship with Bronte? What?
For him to sit on that couch and play victim and act all sad, did he once show any sort of empathy for how I'm feeling? No, it was, you're trying to paint me in a light. It's all about how Harrison looks. All I have done is try. I've defended you, I've protected you. I feel insane.
Where are you at with things now? Like, what do you want to do?
I can't keep going around in circles. Like, if we're honest, you and I aren't good. We're not.
If we're honest.
What do you want to do?
I can't tell you what I want to do moving forward. I'm not going to be going to the dinner party.
Well, that's a win for me. You not being at the dinner party and then just getting mad and storming off and no one really noticing. That's good for me. I don't have to cover that then. I'm still so confused. Harrison's asking Bronte what she wants to do, putting the ball fully in her court, even though he doesn't want to be there in a relationship with Bronte. But Bronte is also just so complicit in all of this bullshit. these two are going to go down as one of the worst couples, as like equally just as bad as each other. Bronte, you know what you want to do. You don't want to be there. You want to go. So just fucking go. Leave. Nobody cares anymore. Ditto for Dirty Harry.
What are you saying?
I don't know. I honestly, I
don't know.
I just don't see how you and I can overcome the hurt that has been inflicted on both of us from each other, and I feel completely broken.
I want to hear what you want to do moving forward. I want to hear
Oh my
it.
God.
Obviously, I want to go home. Like, that's obvious. I have nothing left. I'm literally getting on a plane and going home. I'm done.
Good. Good. Oh, that's the best thing that's happened. Wait, do I have music? I do. Finally, get rid of both of them. I don't understand why Harrison is putting it all in her court. You don't want to be there either, so take a little bit of ownership, douchebag. But wrap it up. It's been going on for so long and we don't need to watch it anymore. Nobody is invested in your relationship. Correction. Nobody who watches this channel is invested in your relationship. I guess you tried to stay for some sort of redemption that was never coming, and maybe it's just sort of become a realization that that's not actually ever gonna happen. I feel good knowing that they're done. But wait. Wait. Are they done? Are they really done? Don't tease us, animals. Make this be done.
Tell everyone what Harrison said about us.
Harrison insinuated that he believed that Tani and I's relationship was not genuine.
Dude, oh,
So
please.
he's throwing grenades again.
When are we going to start calling him out
Right.
for calling all of us out for bullshit?
He gets a little kick out of it.
He does. He
gets a little-
enjoys it.
Gets a little kick out of
He
it.
does.
Yeah, not little. That's the only part where you're wrong, Ollie. He gets a huge kick out of it. I think the most Harrison jollies can be had from him causing shit in everyone else's life because his life is clearly so sad. So Tani and Ollie are apparently the next on his hit list. Yeah, they definitely look like the most fake couple there. No, you're right. I was wrong this whole time. I thought they were the only couple that we could actually believe in this series. But you're right, Dirty Harry. They're for the bin too.
I just feel like I was in this like mode, like no, things are good and we're gonna keep them good. And then like when we did the new pairing swap, Ollie and I sat down and then he would like let me say whatever I wanted and then like
And he's
want to
not
understand
judging,
it.
he's just, yeah,
And that was something that I
yeah.
haven't had at all.
Yeah.
All relationships have communication issues and they come up all the time. There's nothing that is perfection. Perfection is not a reality. But if you, at this stage, can't feel comfortable to bring stuff up, then I think that's a sign it's over. It's never gonna work.
I've been getting phone calls from work telling me that I've got big jobs lined up when I get home, that I'm going to be away for long periods of time. Yeah, rock on a hard place at the moment. It's not as if I'm going to have just 3 or 4 months. It's going to be hard, man, because I'm so remote. I don't know how I'm going to work around it.
I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get really mad. Cam, why did you come on the show? I don't even think it was for followers. Was it to find the hottest girl that you possibly could, and maybe you don't think Lyndall's that? Was it just to find Taylor? Why come on the show? If you're so remote and you can't compromise or commit to someone who is going to be your wife, TV or otherwise, why come on the show? It makes no sense. Was it just for a holiday? Because I feel like you could have gotten better holidays that didn't involve a tiny little sky suite.
Just the name Harrison right now is like nails on a chalkboard.
Trigger word.
Trigger word. We kind of gotta get up.
No Bronte.
Where is Bronte? They're almost recoiling from him.
I don't know what I love more from 2 Shillings there. Where is Bronte? As if it's her new true crime podcast. And maybe for the only time this season, 2 Shillings has been correct about something. Yes, we all recoil when Harrison is around. And they didn't even seem remotely shocked that he was coming in alone. Also, did everyone notice that Alyssa said, "Oh, we have to get up"? What, you're gonna get up for Harrison, but you certainly wouldn't get up for Claire? I don't understand Alyssa's where she decides to be outraged.
I'm loving it.
Look at this.
B1 and B2. I'm going to give him B1 for better skeletal structure.
Finally, for a second, I thought I was getting the MAFS that I've always been hoping for. And maybe Duncan and Leighton, you know? Although in the gay community, it would never work, you know, B1 and B2. You can't both be bottoms. Like, I could see Dunks being a bottom, but it's surprising. Or maybe that's his secret. His little bottom loves the pegging. Can't wait for that violation from YouTube. But I definitely think that Leighton would be a top only, which is probably why him and Mel don't work, you know, because she's also a top only.
Can I just say, Harrison, what was the intentions bringing up butt dial?
Well, I'm actually disappointed that that's come back to the group. Between myself and Mel, we shared a lot over those 3 days. We did have discussions that we agreed would stay between us. So I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest. I think for me, it's been addressed now. I don't really want to harp on it anymore. Can we just put it behind us?
Where do you draw the line? Like, I feel like this has come up every time and...
You are trying to cause a rift. Little digs that keep coming out and no one here is perfect. You just keep doing it, and I know I'm not the only one that feels that way.
This whole Evelyn and the butt dial being brought up because Mel was shown text by Harrison, it's such a beat up. I'm just going to cut the whole thing out. It's just so boring. I get it. Roast Harrison. But about the butt dial, the butt dial. About a butt dial, who cares? At this stage, if you're so offended by him bringing up the validity of it, then that makes it seem like it wasn't real. You know what I mean? Like, just let it go. I do love, though, that when Harrison gets held closer to the coals, he just can't handle it. He's always like, can we just move on from this? well, you never want to move on when someone else is on the hot seat, but when it's you, we should always move on. I've still got questions about what Adam knows.
Is Bronte coming?
I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest.
Of course you don't. Oh.
JINNER is served.
Served.
JINNER is served. All right, cutie. I don't care what you said or how you said it, but I know dinner's coming, and that was a fantastic moustache. So JINNER is served. And again, when we say JINNER and served, we mean Harrison, right? It's Harrison's night once again. Can we share the love? Can we have another late villain?
Why are you here eating dinner when you don't have your wife?
What? I can't come and hang out with my friends?
Well, ain't my friend. Is he your friend?
Look, he's a guy.
Is it getting to the point where it's just a little bit sad? Harrison, how many of these people do you think are going to continue to be your friend after they've seen the entire show? I know some of them are, but it's people I would assume would continue to be your friend, like Dan or Disney Dad.
Am I seriously going to be attacked for Bronte's choices? I feel like I'm being attacked.
Harrison, nobody's trying to attack you.
But I don't need to be reminded of who she is. I know she's my wife.
Oh, he'll never forget it. Although, if anyone does need reminding that they're in a relationship, it would be Dirty Harry. This episode just gets worse and worse. The fake drama about the butt dial that was nothing. All the inner dialogue of Cam with his big secret about how many months he works away. Oh, I think this may be the worst dinner party ever.
Bronte essentially said again, like, I can't do this. She's done. She can't put any more into this. And she wants to go home.
He's lost his power.
He is literally on an island tonight.
Leave him there. He's lost his power. Yes, or this magical power that I've been trying to figure out why everyone gets kind of like bewildered by it. How do so many people fall under that spell? I think he's lost the power because he's lost the energy to lie anymore. He's just so bored with even his own lies. Oh, could you imagine? Stuck on a desert island. When you'd, back in the day, when you'd start a new radio job, they would get you to like fill in a questionnaire and it would go up on the very primitive website that the radio station had. And it would always say like, if you were trapped on a desert island, what were the things that you would have and who would you like to be with? Like you got to pick one person. And that person for me would not be Harrison. Who was my choice? Back in those days, I was straight. Given the messages sliding into my DMs, I would assume the person that you'd like to be trapped with on the desert island is Duncan.
Last week, you said, gonna end it, it's done. Is there a chance that you're gonna write stay tomorrow?
They're not going anywhere.
No chance I'm writing stay.
Is that a no chance?
No chance.
Does Bronte know that?
Yeah.
Agrees or
Have
disagrees?
I told Bronte that specifically?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
From the vibe of our conversation, does she know that the relationship is essentially done? I think so. It's pretty brutal.
Have I told her? No. But does she know? Yeah. Yeah, no, she knows. If there's anything we've learned from this show, it's that you really need to be specific when you sit on the couch to have both of you write leave. Because for some reason, I reckon Bronte's coming back. Because of course, I reckon she's not gone. She might do a Taylor and come in halfway through the dinner just to spruce it up. What's the bet that one of them on the Commit Me couch, and you know they're both going to end up there for sure, one of them writes stay. And if they do, I quit. I'm not doing the rest of the season. Wrap it up.
Evelyn, awesome.
Oh, yes, please. The nicest thing you've ever done for me, Harrison.
Don't get used to it.
Evie, you got anything you want to add there? You look like body language perked up a little bit.
I think you didn't read that situation very well.
That's the funniest thing that's happened all night. Ollie just being a little shit stirrer in the corner, and I love it, trying to insinuate that there was some sort of spark between Harrison and Evelyn. And she couldn't have shut it down quicker.
How are you two going?
I don't know. I think the biggest concern I've got after this experiment is where I'm going to be at.
Yeah, what does it look like for you?
So is it saying that Lyndall needs to move? Lyndall needs to be flexible.
Ollie in there again.
What's the point of moving? Why would you move from Perth from all your family when I'm not going to be in Darwin? I'll still be at remote.
There's pretty much no point in me moving to Darwin because Cam is going to work out bush anyway.
Why come on the show? I know I've said it before, but I still really need an answer. You got married, and I'm assuming you did it just to find a partner. I don't think it's for Insta followers, is it? If you work remote and you love your career so much, I can't assume you came on this show for the Insta clout and the blue tick. And if it's not for the wife, then I need to know why you came on the show. Can we just acknowledge the evil power that the skivvy is bringing Ollie? Like, I know he's not a villain, but I love that he is just jumping into the conversation. You know what I mean? He's not sitting back in his little giggly ways. He's got this skivvy and a jacket on, and he's embracing this power. I know I make fun of my friend Hayley for wearing too many skivvies, and she's got one in every fucking color and type of material that you could think of. But maybe I should wear skivvies more often. Maybe the rants would be just way more intense, because I'd be so hot underneath. No, you're right. You're right. I know someone's writing a comment right now like, your neck. Your neck size and skivvies, not gonna work, honey.
If you're fly in, fly out kind of thing.
Not really.
No.
Drive in, drive out.
Some places I could be 900 k's away from an airport. 2 weeks, I could be out there for a month. I could be out there for 6 months to a year.
To a year?
And you still have like reception and phone.
Some places I have got reception, some places I don't.
Wow.
God no.
I'm still struggling with the why you here thing. So now it's 6 months to a year that he could be out there, who knows, whatever job, and not even have phone reception? Then what are you doing here? And now we know why they've never spoken about it before, because this would be the answer and the show would be done for them so soon.
So if when you come back, it's to Darwin, why can't it just be to Perth?
Because that's where my career is. I can't just drop that at the moment. I have to work around work.
So do you guys see a future outside of this?
I want to see a future outside of this, but I just feel like being outside of the experiment is really going to challenge us.
So you're based in Darwin because that's where work is, but work's not really there, right? It's remote. You're saying to us that you don't spend any time in Darwin, but then you say, oh no, but Darwin's where work is. Well, like, what does that make sense? I get that that might be work's base, but couldn't you say to work, hey, I'll just fly remotely to wherever you need me, and if you need me to pop back to the Darwin office, that's fine. I'll probably have to fly in and out of Darwin anyway. But then, can't you be based in Perth? Like, it just seems like Cam doesn't want to bend on anything, but then he also doesn't want Lyndall to come to Darwin. Maybe, and stick with me, maybe he just doesn't want Lyndall.
I'm in a bit of a weird place. I was under the impression that I would move to Darwin, but now the situation is, can I handle a long distance relationship? And is this relationship going to survive that long distance thing? Because the long distance thing is hectic. We're going to be completely apart, not even text messages. That is what I'm staring down the barrel of. You want to go back to your career without any kind of
you want some
molding me
compromise, you
into
want some
that.
budge.
And I'm wondering whether or not I'm going to be able to be okay with that.
And the answer's no. And you shouldn't have to be. You know what I mean? Like, why would he want to start a relationship knowing that he's just never going to be able to be in contact with you? It just seems like he's not put any thought into this whatsoever. I don't even know, did his mates convince him to apply? Did a producer head up to Darwin to find him? Why this show? If you wanted like a holiday, Love Island.
Cam knew his situation coming in, and I just don't really know what I'm supposed to do about it.
How do you want it to look? How do you want this to work?
I want you to come to Perth, and I want to strap on rollerblades, to come to the beach and see the weather and at least know what my life is there.
But I can't just drop the hat when I get home and be like, right, I'm just going to pack up and go and do those things.
You know what? You could if you wanted to. And that's the thing. Like, if you want to make a relationship work, you just make it fucking work. And if it's not important enough to you, then you don't make it work. I just don't use this bullshit work, remote, no texting, all this shit. Don't use it as an excuse. It's the same thing for Alyssa and her kid and her Mormon stuff and her love language. Stop hiding behind this shit and just say what you feel. I don't really like Lyndall. She's fine, but I don't want to be with Lyndall. Say that.
Can I ask this, Cam? Is there a world where you would quit your job? Because that's probably what needs to happen, or at least a pivot. Would you do that for Linus?
If this split you, would you both be heartbroken over this?
It'd be, yeah, of course it would be. Like, you've got to have feelings for each other. What's the point of being here? I'm between a rock and a hard place here. It's what I want to do with my life, man. I've built this career.
Yeah, but you've put yourself between the rock and a hard place. Don't come on the show and say that you want a wife if it was never really practical for someone to fit into that life. It's almost like Dan. Dan expected Sandy to just slot into his life exactly how he wanted to. And that's just not realistic. I'd love for you to comment below and say to me, oh, no, actually, I just bend for my partner at their every want and will. And then my reply would be, get out. There's always a partner that's giving a little bit more. Yes. But Cam's not giving anything. What's he doing?
Like, we all got asked the question, would you move for love? What was your answer at that time?
I just said that I would move for love. Yeah.
Oh.
My game plan was to finish off my career. Like it was, but I wanted to find love as well. And I think I'm at the point where, like, I want it to work, but I just feel like it's going to be a massive challenge for us.
I know it's highly edited, but it kind of looks like Lyndall's thinking what we're all thinking, which is, so he didn't find love, so he's not gonna move. Yeah, I did. I did say that I'd move if I found love. Turns out I didn't. Oh, fuck, mate. I always knew there was something a bit sus about Cam, and I had some messages. And the messages always help when people are like, hey, I know this person. Don't.
I don't think you understand how much I like you.
Okay. If you guys want it to work, you can definitely both make it work.
He doesn't
you have
want
no
to.
idea what it's gonna look like when we get out of here. You may get out in a week's time and be like, shit, I've really missed Lyndall.
You know what's funny? I just love calling out bullshit where I see it. Cam and Lyndall's relationship's not going to survive. Like, time to nip this in the bud.
You could do some remote accounting, Lyndall.
I feel like everyone should be trying to prioritize the relationship over...
Harrison, I think that's really rich coming from you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Like 2 Shillings said, you've lost your power. No one's here to listen to any of your shit anymore. And also, she can't do remote accounting. You know why? Because he said not a lot of coverage to even get a text message or make a phone call. So I don't think she's going to be like really responding to clients all that well in some remote community. Oh, Harrison, nobody is here for your shit anymore. Shut up. Also, Alyssa, the advice that you give out isn't the advice that you give yourself. I know we're not seeing everything that we need to see from you and Duncan and your relationship, but you're sitting there going, if you want to make it work, you make it work. Maybe just take your own advice, you just chuck that advice in your gob, because the way that you treat Duncan seems like you don't believe the things that you're selling to Cam and Lyndall right now.
I've never lived with a partner before. This is the longest I've spent with someone probably ever.
Lucky you.
Lucky me. Even though there's only a couple of differences, are those differences so strong, they cause compatibility issues, and I don't know the answer to that. We are super, super passionate.
I don't know where this is going. Are we going to have another fight about the same shit? I don't want to have another fight about the same shit. This episode is garbage.
This is the person I hate most in the world. With Harris.
In the world?
Okay, hey.
He's a bit dramatic.
But can we take the comedy out of it, because it's actually quite serious for me. I don't feel great seeing them laugh at me. I sat there and I felt like I had Mel and Harrison on the couch trying to convince me against that decision together.
Not convince, give different perspectives. Cut in here because it's our story.
But this is how I felt.
Interrupt
You
all
can
the time.
finish, babe. Like,
Jeez. So we're having that. We're having that argument.
Leighton said, oh, no, I did the tasks with Bronte. The task was spending 3 days with somebody that you didn't choose to spend with. That was the task that the experts set.
Yeah, but Duncan, you can sit there and say whatever you want. You got Evelyn. Leighton got Bronte. All right, Leighton, we've heard it a million times, and I understand that you have to say it again for the group, and the producers have probably told you, keep talking, because you can't go home before 3 a.m. unless we get some more drama. And there has been zero in this episode. And in fact, the only good stuff's coming from Ollie, which is a real surprise. Harrison, deliberately a little bit flirty and smiley with Mel, which we knew that he liked her anyway. Interesting that she's reciprocating those smiles and little laughs, but he's doing it because he knows it gets under Leighton's skin, because Leighton does like Mel more than probably what he lets on. Also, Mel, stop interrupting all the time. He's clearly somebody who just needs to talk it all out. Let him just talk it all out. Jot it down in your head, all your remarks, and then say it after the fact. Let him talk it out first. But also, don't talk it out, Leighton. None of us want to fucking hear it.
Leighton, would you have been upset if it was like me and Duncan that you guys were like, it was just a perspective, like a temptation thing?
Keys in a bowl.
Come on, man. How are you helping the situation by saying rubbish like that?
He's not. That's the whole thing. Now you got to get this, Leighton. He's not there to help any situation. Not his own, not yours, none of them. I love that you're into her enough to be, pretty threatened by that comment, keys in the bowl, but stop giving Harrison what he wants. And I think if it was a different couple that they were partnered up with, I don't think the problem would have been an issue at all. Like, I don't think it would have been a thing.
Can I ask you a question? Like, when you made the comment about morals and values, that you didn't feel comfortable with it, how do you think you made Mel feel when you said that?
and I sat there feeling so guilty over it.
You certainly didn't look like you were guilty when you and Harrison were sitting there, and now you're laughing.
I didn't laugh.
I feel like I'm reliving it right now.
He's the only one in this entire experiment that boycotted it and refused to do it.
And a lot of the other participants saw some real gain to the experience. And
I can't listen to this either. So now the experts are crucifying Leighton because Leighton's now so far down this hole, he still doesn't feel heard. And now the group's kind of turning against him because he didn't do it. And he's not laughing about it because he's still feeling his feelings. And I can see it from Leighton's perspective. He was feeling a certain type of way. No one listened to him, and I still don't think he feels heard, and now it's just getting worse. The last thing these experts need to do is sit there and go, oh, well, the other participants actually got some great value out of it. Yeah, well, they weren't partnered with fucking Bronte and Harrison. Shut up.
I try and support you. You don't let me. Why would I not support you? How many times have I said that I supported you if you just let me support you? What are you doing? Tit for tat?
In the moment.
I didn't get a chance. You wall of China and shut me out.
The mocking
no,
me.
you're saying
That's
that
how
now.
I felt, Mel.
You got Harrison as a threat.
You
You
made
said
a
it would
joke
be
against-
okay with Ollie or Duncan. You said that then
No,
it
I
was
did
about
not
the
say that. Started joking about putting keys in a bowl.
That's bullshit. That's not true. I'm going to do a Bronte. It was a great night.
Well, don't do a full Bronte. Oh, the full Bronte. It'd be a lie. It's where she takes nothing off, because Bronte doesn't tell the truth about anything, I don't think. So Mel's storming out because once again, they're arguing about something that they both kind of agreed with at the start. And Mel, to be honest, you didn't listen to him. And no, you didn't walk into the room trying to make amends and hug him and listen out. You kept talking and you keep going, nah, 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 nah. And the saddest part about this whole thing is that Harrison's sitting there and getting his jollies again. Another violation on YouTube. Getting his jollies again because you're both blowing up and he's the cause of it.
He's trying to tit for tat to get everyone on his side. I feel like he was quick to be like, Mel did this, this, this. We're in this position because you got angry over the task. You got angry.
didn't help
I think that because of Mel and I's personality, both being so passionate and both being really headstrong, when we get into arguments, it can blow up and it can get really uncomfortable.
Yeah, we've heard this a million times. Stop it. Maybe Harrison's right, and it pains me to say that. Maybe they're not going to work because they refuse to listen to each other. They're both so smart and yet so very dumb.
You know, I want to have children and a family in 5 years. What if we're still in this position in 2-3 years? I care about Mel heaps, but I know that I don't want to be in a relationship like this.
And who does, Leighton? And with that, it's the end of what could possibly be the lamest episode of this series. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this one. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. It's not my fault it was a bad episode. I tried my best. And comment below with all your thoughts and feelings as we go into our final couple of weeks. I'll see you in the next one, sweet baby angel. Bye-bye.